Hello everyone. So we are talking about second lesson, European colonialism. Already we had started with this lesson, and we are talking about the colonialism, its meaning and nature. So student, we have seen that because of the colonialism, the mm, Europeans, they wherever they went, they established their colonies. And now there was a competition to gain economic, social, and political supremacy among them. So now they started to occupying the different lands. They reached to America, and we have started with colonialism in America. In the last lecture, we have discussed that European, when they came to America, so that time they started to dominate on America. The Europeans migrant seized the lands of the original inhabitants in America, and if they wanted, so they used to kill people. They destroyed most of the local kingdoms. They discovered gold mines. They brought slaves from Africa to cultivate sugarcane and tobacco in American fields. And now they established their colonies over the entire coastline of South America. After that, we have discussed that Elizabeth I, she also encouraged explorers for the sea expedition. Then here we are talking about the next point, that is Boston Massacre. So the Boston Massacre was a deadly riot that occurred on 5th March 1770 on King Street in Boston. It began as a street fight between American colonists and British soldiers, but quickly it's accelerated to a chaotic bloody slaughter. The conflict energized anti-British sentiment and paved the way for the American Revolution. More than 2,000 British soldiers occupied the city of 16,000 colonists and tried to enforce Britain tax laws on them like Stamp Act. American colonies, they rebel against the taxes they found repressing, rallying around the cry no taxation without representation. Several days later, a fight broke out between the local workers and British soldiers. It ended without serious bloodshed but helped set the stage for the bloody incident yet to come. The violence accelerated and colonists struck the soldiers with clubs and sticks. Reports differ of exactly what happened next, but after some supposedly said the word fire and a soldier fired his gun, although it's unclear if the discharge was intentional. And all this incident was happened because of the Stamp Act of 1765, and it made obligatory to purchase special stamp for important documents. So the British colonies in America like Virginia, Massachusetts put up the resistance against the Stamp Act and also the restriction imposed on the colonies. Now the British Parliament had granted monopoly to East India Company to import and sell tea to the colonies. Now people in the colonies, they had started demanding removal of the restriction imposed on them and autonomy. British government, they refused to yield to these demands, and the American colonies declared boycott on British goods. The colonies suffer a financial depression throughout the 1760s. Trade is slow, cash is in short supply, and debt is on the rise. In the fall of 1767, Boston selectmen hoped to alleviate the crisis when they urged citizens to save your money and save your country. Women play a key role in colonial attempts to curb the growing debt to Great Britain. A clever scribe pens an address to the ladies extolling the benefits, both economic and amorous, of boycotting British goods. Next important incident in history is the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party was a political protest that occurred on December 16, 1773 in Boston, Massachusetts. American colonies, frustrated and angry at Britain for imposing taxation without representation, they dumped 342 chests of tea imported by the British East India Company into the harbour. The event was the first major act of defiance to British rule over the colonies. It showed Great Britain that American wouldn't take taxation and rallied American patriots across the 13 colonies to fight for independence. So the question is that why did the Boston Tea Party happen? In the 1760s, Britain was deep in debt. So the British Parliament imposed a series of taxes on American colonies to help pay those debts. The Stamp Act of 1765 taxed colonists on virtually every piece of printed paper they used, from playing cards and business licenses to the newspapers and legal documents. The British government felt the taxes were fair since much of its debt was earned fighting wars on the colonist behalf. The colonists, however, disagreed. They were furious at being taxed without having any representation in parliament and felt it was wrong for Britain to impose taxes on them to gain revenue. Britain eventually repealed the taxes it had imposed on the colonies except the tea tax. It wasn't about to give up tax revenue on the nearly 1.2 million pounds of tea the colonies drank each year. In the protest, the colonists boycotted tea sold by British East India Company and smuggled in Dutch tea, leaving British East India Company with millions of pounds of surplus tea and facing bankruptcy. In May 1773, British Parliament passed the Tea Act, which allowed British East India Company to sell tea to the colonies duty free and much cheaper than other tea companies, but still they taxed the tea when it reached colonial ports. Tea smuggling in the colonies increased, although the cost of the smuggled tea soon surpassed that of tea from British East India Company with the added tax. The Sons of Liberty were a group of colonial merchants and tradesmen founded to protest the Stamp Act and other forms of taxation. led by Adams, the son of liberty, held meetings rallying against British Parliament and protested the arrival of Dartmouth, a British East India Company ship carrying tea. By December 16, 1773, Dartmouth had been joined by her sister ships. All three ships loaded with tea from China. That morning, as thousands of colonists convened at the wharf and its surrounding street, a meeting was held at the Old South Meeting House where a large group of colonists voted to refuse to pay taxes on the tea or allow the tea to be unloaded, stored, sold, or used. That night, a large group of men, many reportedly members of the Sons of Liberty, disguised themselves in Native American garbs, boarded and docked ships and threw 342 chests of tea into the water. Said participating George, we then were ordered by our commander to open the hatches and take out all the chests of tea and throw them overboard. And we immediately proceeded to execute his order, first cutting and splitting the chest without our tomahawks so as thoroughly to expose them to effect of the water. This event is known as the Boston Tea Party. A federation of the colonies known as the Continental Congress was established. In 1774, a meeting of Congress was called. In this meeting, known as the First Continental Congress, a strong opposition was expressed to the import of British goods. It was also decided to boycott British goods. These events ultimately gave the momentum to the American independence movement against European powers. The Second Continental Congress was a meeting of delegates from the 13 colonies in America which united in the American Revolutionary War. It convened on May 10, 1775 with representatives from 12th of the colonies in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, shortly after the battles of Lexington and Concord, succeeding the First Continental Congress which met in Philadelphia from September 5 to October 26, 1774. 13 colonies in America, they came together and they declared independence from Great Britain. On 4th July, in the meeting known as Second Continental Congress, a document known as the Declaration of Independence was adopted. This document was drafted by Thomas Jefferson. The important point of the document announced that the 13 American colonies were independent sovereign states. The key point of this document is the statement about three basic human rights, namely life, liberty, and pursuits of happiness. It was stated that these three are the natural rights of human beings which nobody can be deprived of. Then also there was a conflict between the colonies and the British Army. It continued for some years. There were several battles happened between these colonies and the British Army. Finally, at Saratoga, the colonies got victory over British Army. The victory proved to be the turning point of colonies as the French agreed to support them in their conflict with the British. Spain also joined the colonies in their struggle for independence. On 7th October 1780, George Washington defeated British Army. On 19th October, the British General Lord Cornwallis surrendered and America became independent. The American Revolt for Independence is also known as the American Revolution. It was a war to American fighting one's own king to get back their independence. American proved to the world that the subjects have the right to fight the rulers who deny them their natural rights. It is said that state without a king is a phenomenon which is a gift to the world from America. Canada, a country which is adjacent to America, it was acquired by British by the Paris Treaty. Later the British accorded the status of the federal state to Canada and established. They had also appointed a Governor General in Canada. Now student, we are going to move towards our next point, which is 2.3. From that second point, Australia and New Zealand colonialism. In the 18th century, the first colony of prisoners deported from England was established in Australia. Near about in 19th century, the other regions in America were colonized. British, they established their colonies in the island of Tasmania, New Zealand. In the year 1900, the island of Tasmania was included and Republic of Australia was created as an integral nation of the British Empire. A bicameral parliament was established. Student, bicameral means two houses or the two chambers. So two chambers parliament was established in Australia and a governor general was appointed in Australia by the British king as a viceroy representative. Only European immigrants were allowed to enter Australia. In 1907, New Zealand was granted the status of an free state. Autonomous state means a free state which can take its own decision within the British Empire. The European settlers in New Zealand adopted democratic system of administration. The measures of public welfare such as common rights to vote, public railways, fire, accident, insurance, pension for the old, compensation to the workers who got injured or died on duty, etc. were implemented in New Zealand long before 1900 CE. Only European immigrants were allowed to settle down in New Zealand. Now, what were the effects of this British colonization? So, there following was the effects of the colonization. Because of the colonization, we are damaging on the native flora, fauna and people of Australia. In the 10 years after the colonization, it is estimated that the indigenous population of Australia reduced to 90%, and following were the reasons for that. New diseases were introduced like smallpox, settlers' acquisitions of native land, direct conflict with the new settlers. Animals also they extinct from the land. So these were the effects of the British colonization. Okay students, so today we have discussed about the colonialism of America and Australia and New Zealand. Now today here we are going to stop. Tomorrow we are going to start with the colonialism of Asia. Thank you and have a nice day.